So you're in a certain part of life in which you don't spend time with that many friends. You might not even have that many friends. And most of your day is spent alone. Male loneliness is a real thing, and if you're on the younger side of men, especially if you're on the younger side of men, you need some male friends to hang out with. But that doesn't mean you're always gonna have someone to hang out with, or you're gonna spend time with your friends every single day. Of course, if these friends are productive people and they're on self-improvements, even if they don't use that word to describe it, and they're doing the right things every day, then that makes sense to hang out with them every day. It's probably ideal to do that. Maybe go to the gym with them, maybe eat with them, or just make some time to spend with them. But if you don't have friends like that, and you're not part of any tribe or brotherhood in some aspect, then it makes sense that you're usually alone most of the time. I already made a guide on how to make friends while on self-improvement, and you can watch that video after this one. But this one is about the opposite, how to be happy by yourself. Because I've realized that mastering your alone time is just as important as mastering your social time. When I was at my old college, I didn't even care about optimizing my alone time because I was never really alone. I had a bunch of friends that were really fun to hang out with. So I would always have at least one person to hang out with at any point in time. And since there were so many people around me, I was never really alone. Even my roommates and I were best friends basically at the college. And since we lived together, we could just do most of our activities together. But here, that's not the case. Maybe because people are a lot less social here. And also since it's the middle of the year, it's the second semester, it's likely that a lot of these students have already found their people. And I just got here, right? So I spend most of my days, if not all of the day, alone. I spend time with the few friends I have at this school for like maybe an hour once every 2-3 days, and then I go back home on the weekend to spend time with my family. But that's about it. Maybe a lot of you think that's pretty normal, but I certainly didn't, because before college I would be in high school and you're at school for like most of the day and basically every day except the weekends. So I would always have people around me to spend time with, and I had a bunch of friends at school. And then at my first college, I was extremely social during a time where everyone wanted to be extremely social and make friends, right? So it was basically kind of like making friends on easy mode, and I made a bunch of them. So when I came to this school, for the first few days, I felt super lonely because for the first time in a while, I didn't have people around me every day. And I missed my friends at my old school. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad for me, it was my decision to leave. But eventually I sucked it up and I realized that the reason I was so sad was because I never really understood how to be happy by myself. So I tried to figure it out, and here's some things that I've learned. Number 1. Understand that being alone can be a good thing. At my old school, I was basically a complete retard who barely practiced self-improvement. I won't lie to you. I would just wake up and go to bed whenever I felt like it. I would eat shit food using bulking as an excuse, and I wasted a lot of time. I did improve significantly in social skills, and I also gained a bit of muscle because I was consistently going to the gym, but that's about it. I also didn't give a fuck about school or classes either. And since I had unlimited people to hang out with, I would spend most of my days hanging out with people. And while hanging out with people is good, technically, I think I did it a bit too much, that I wasn't even getting any work done. Maybe I made a few videos here and there, but I wasn't at war. I felt very comfortable, but I was happy. I had a smile on my face all of the time because I loved it there. When I came to my new school though, I wasn't happy. Even though I made the decision to come here based on logical grounds, emotionally I wasn't happy. I felt very lonely. I missed my friends. I missed my girlfriends. I thought I was stupid for deciding to come here. And honestly, it's a little bit shameful, but I did consider like begging my old school to let me back in. Because I didn't like the environment here. People here are a lot less social, especially because a lot of them commute from home to this school. And of course, I tried to make some new friends here, and I have a few, but I'm not really that close to any of them. All of the aura that I had gained at my old school just disappeared. But so did the noise. So did every single possible distraction. So after a few days, I realized this is the pain. This is the challenge that I asked for, and now I'm unstoppable. I am becoming more productive and focused than I have ever been. And even though I'm not nearly as happy as I was at my old school, I'm doing the right things, so I'm very proud of myself for that. So being alone for most of the day can actually be a good thing, because now you have more time to improve yourself and work on your goals. Of course you can spend time with friends, but your goals should always come first. And that leads us to number 2. Sweat on your goals and dreams. So when you have no friends, you'll either become soft or you'll become obsessed. If you're going to be soft, that just means that you're going to sit in bed and you're going to cry all day because you don't have any friends, which is honestly what I did for the first 3 days being here. Or you can make having no friends an excuse to obsess over your goals. All of the time in the day is free for you to use. Go make your daily schedule and follow it as best as you can. Because, you should be able to get everything you want to get done today done. There is no one texting you or asking you to hang out. There is nothing that can interrupt your flow. So use that as an excuse to do what you're supposed to do the entire day. This is not supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to make you feel happy. But you will feel better about yourself and you'll actually achieve things. So here's 2 actions that you can take right after watching this. First, make a daily schedule of what you're going to do throughout the entire day. Plan when you're going to eat, when you're going to work, when you're going to sleep, when you're going to wake up, when you're going to shower, when you're going to go to the gym. Plan all of that out. The second thing you should do is write down your goals and do it the easy way. Just make 2 lists. The first list should be goals that you want to achieve during the year. So if you want to bench 200 pounds by the end of August, just write August 31st, bench 200 pounds. The second list is goals that you want to achieve by the end of the year. So these goals don't have to have a specific date, but they should be completed by the end of 2026. Number 3, hype yourself up. One of the best ways to make being by yourself more enjoyable is to be your own hype guy. This will help you push harder on your goals. Like imagine you're at the gym and your gym bro is motivating you to push harder and do one more rep. If you don't have him, you need to be that guy for yourself. And this comes with all aspects of your goals, not just the gym. This will make the process of being by yourself a lot less painful, because honestly, this process is very painful. Being alone is, very painful for me. But being my own hype guy has definitely helped me a lot, because I just feel like walking around everywhere with a smile on my face and spreading positive energy because I'm doing the right things all the time. Of course, it can be really fucking hard to consistently do the right things, don't get me wrong. But if you at least do one productive thing, or you have an entire day of productivity, then at the end of it, you're gonna feel like, yeah, I'm that fucking guy, let's go. Number 4, double down on family. When you're by yourself and you don't have any friends to hang out with, you realize the importance of family more than ever before. You'll realize that even if you have no friends and you feel extremely lonely, you'll always have family. Maybe some of you watching this video have a troubled family, but I'm assuming most of you watching this have parents who genuinely love you and want the best for you. Maybe sometimes they can get a bit annoying, I understand that, but they're your family. Spend time with them. I know it sounds a bit extreme to say this, but there are people out there whose parents are no longer alive and they would kill just to spend one more day with them. When I left for college in August, I was super excited to leave home and live on my own and make a bunch of friends and get girls and do all this shit. And I barely called my parents when I was there. And ideally, they wanted me to call them once a day, which maybe sounds like a lot for a lot of you, but for brown people, I think it's pretty normal. I didn't really call them all that often unless I needed something. And they would often call me most of the time, and I would just pick up because I had to. And I would talk very loosely with my parents because I didn't really care that much. Meanwhile, I'm sure that they genuinely wanted to talk to me because they missed me, which makes me feel bad for how I didn't care before. Now that I'm at a new school and I'm much closer to home, I spend a lot more time with my family. I go back home every weekend to spend time with them. One of the first days I was here, I was calling my mom and I told her I don't really have any friends here. And I didn't even say it in a sad way or anything. I said it in a way that was like, well, anyway, I'm too busy to have a bunch of friends and, I have shit to do. And anyway, it makes sense because it's the beginning of the semester and I just got here. But I could still tell she felt bad. So she spent some more time on the phone with me, asking me about my classes and how it is there. And I really did take them for granted before, but I really enjoyed having that conversation with my mom. Like, I genuinely wanted to talk to my mom because I was pretty fucking lonely. Like, I didn't, what was it? I was pretty sad, but I just didn't want to show her that. My mom was the first person I had a full conversation with that day, and she wasn't even in person with me. But that made me realize how much I took my parents for granted, and I'm very lucky to have them. So be grateful for your parents. They raised you, and they're always worrying about you, and you'll always have them, even if you feel lonely. Double down on family. Number 5, still practice making friends. Remember, even though you are by yourself at this time, you still need to practice making friends all throughout. Just because there are certain benefits to being alone, there are also certain bad things too, like feeling lonely and feeling fucking depressed. So to avoid these things, you should have a few friends to hang out with, at least a few. And by the way, you don't have to go crazy and become the guy that everyone knows. I wouldn't be against that. I did that during my first semester of college and I have no regrets. I had a really good time. It's just that right now I prefer having a smaller circle. So I've toned it down a bit. So basically it's up to you, but don't be some lone alpha who just avoids all social interaction and then scrolls on his phone for 3 hours a day. Just do your best to have some good conversations with people here and there, and then eventually you'll start making friends, and hopefully these friends are on some level of self-improvement, so then you guys can form some type of brotherhood. That's what I'm doing here. But if you want to be the guy that goes all crazy and makes a ton of friends, then be my guest. So these are the 5 things that you must do to master being by yourself. Number 1, understand that being by yourself can be a good thing. Number 2, work hard on your goals and dreams. Number 3, hype yourself up. Number 4, prioritize family. And number 5, continue making and spending time with friends. This video won't change your life. Wait, you will. Nice.